Hey everybody, Carm Capriato, Aftermarket Weekly from Remarkable Results Radio, as we get a chance to see behind the scenes at Niko's place. Wow, how exciting is that? And uh, and we're going to go out to Encinitas, I don't know why I just had a brain freeze there. Don't ask me why. I'd like to introduce you to Niko Sougias. Did I say that right?
Yeah. It's Sugias, whichever.
Sugias.
Yeah,
You've been on before.
Sugias.
You've been on
Yeah,
before, Niko, and I screwed it up the last time. I know that. I'm
that,
positive when I had you on the show before.
that's all
Niko,
right. Good
Niko,
morning.
same to you, my friend. Out in California, I'm on the East Coast. We're waiting for some really neat winter weather to hit us here.
Yes.
And I'm sure down in the San Diego area, which I've been to once now in my life. What a beautiful area.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's nice. Right now, it is unseasonably cold. We have to work through the 40-degree temps right now. We don't have heaters or anything, so it's chilly in the morning. But it's not that bad. It gets up to like in
Uh,
the 50s.
Oh, that's too bad that it's chilly. I'm
I know.
really sorry about that. I have layers on, so
I know.
we have to live with that. Hey, let's see a picture of Niko's place.
Yeah.
Charles Foreign Car in Encinitas, as I said, California. 41 years in the business.
Yeah. 44 years now. Yeah. Yeah.
44 today. Now,
Yeah.
here's that uh, it was your dad, Charlie, who started.
Yeah. He started in 1978, and I've been working here since I was a kid. I tell everybody that I've been working here since I was like 5 years old. And then this is what I've done right here. This is it. So then I purchased the business from him back in 2016 from him and my mother, and that's it.
Very good. Excellent. Hey, we're coming to you live from the Dorman OE Fix Studios. Thank you so much, Dorman, for your continued sponsorship in all of 2022 and in 2023. The aftermarket is filled with companies that make replacement parts, but few invest in design, engineering, manufacturing, programming, and testing like Dorman. They are home to hundreds of mechanical, electrical, and manufacturing engineers spread out all across the globe who ensure every part that is produced meets rigorous industry standards for performance. To do this, Dorman utilizes cutting-edge technology and equipment to test fit, form, and functionality of all their parts. Some of these tests include rapid prototyping 3D models for fitment checks, tolerance testing on both mechanical and electronic components through salt fog and thermal heat and pressure testing. Dorman drives their dedication to their engineering by including their in-house programmers who write and test new software solutions. Solving for a problem is what powers the innovation engine at Dorman. Dorman invests in these OE innovations to help you save time, your customer money, and prevent vehicles from coming back to your shop. Hey, to learn more about Dorman's engineering process, visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Hey, thanks again, Dorman. Niko, look, there's so many things I want to talk to you about, and then of course we have your video tour here at the end of the show, but it won't be that far into the end of the show. But I love what I'm seeing here. A couple of things. You are doing so many incredible videos. And in
Yes,
fact,
thank you. Thank you.
I actually got on your site and I was watching a bunch of them. You're mild mannered. You're calm. You have a soothing presence as you are talking to your customers about stuff, and it's these. I love the pre-education. The air conditioning one was, listen. Here's how you can test if you feel like you're warm and you should be cold, and here's how it all works. And we're going to put on this machine. Come in and we'll see if you need anything. But legitimately, you're showing and explaining why you have the capabilities and the equipment to do the job. And yeah, it may cost some money, but we can get you right.
Yes. Just explain. People just want really good explanations. So, what I find myself explaining like over the phone, like over and over again, somebody calls and says, "Hey, my AC doesn't work," and then you explain an AC service, and then it's like, so just explain an AC service and make a video out of it, and just kind of get into the real topical stuff about like how AC refrigerant works. You don't want to get into like the super technical stuff because you'll lose the average person. But you want to be able to like explain the entire thing from A to Z. And I usually try to time myself. I usually give myself like a 60 set. Whenever you're explaining anything technical to the world of your audience, which is the world of non-technical people, you want to give yourself like a time limit of like 60 seconds. You got to do it all in 60 seconds, which is really difficult to do because you can go off on this curve over here and all you're doing is talking about like the high pressure side of the AC and you go on for 2 or 3 minutes. It's like, no, 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 don't do that. So it's kind of like what I'm doing right now. You know, it's like you start rambling on about high side and all that, but I'm
Yeah.
explaining how you do it. So
We
that's how, yeah.
we go down rabbit holes sometimes. Why? There's a couple of things. Either we want to prove to the rest of the world that we really know our stuff,
Yeah.
or you have to explain it in detail because that's how you're wired. And
Yeah.
what your point here to anyone who wants to make a video like this and get it up and out there. I mean, you've got what, 3,000 followers? It's
Yeah.
incredible. Is the keep it simple stupid, KISS, right? Keep it simple.
Yes.
Listen, let me share. Here's videos that I found: BMW wiper blades, air springs, noise from a differential, control arm bushings, correct spark plugs, variable valve timing. I mean, that could be a rabbit hole right there, couldn't it?
That absolutely can be a rabbit hole. You mentioned control arm bushings. I
Yeah.
just got my YouTube report from this year, and that was the most watched video. I get like 70,000 minutes viewed per month. And there is something like a couple, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands, it was like 700 or 800,000 minutes viewed over the year. The control arm bushing one was the most watched video, which is the last one that I would have thought, you know, it's just like you start talking about control arm bushings and people want to know about them.
Why do you think?
I don't know. Maybe it's people have like, you know, we tagged it right. So like we got like shaking and vehicle vibrations and all that kind of stuff. And then people just started watching it. So if somebody YouTube's like my car is vibrating, usually that's like the alignment thing, right? People are like, oh, my car shakes, I need an alignment. That's not what they need. They don't need an alignment if their car shakes. They need to fix, you know, why their tires are wearing or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then, you know, we just kind of tagged it with that and just put it to control arm bushings and that's it.
Well, incredible think here is to tag it right, get the SEO right.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought in a million years control arm bushings, but I think this is a great lesson for us to learn. You may think that the consumer doesn't want to know about it, but if it makes the car critically run right and it's something like a control bushing, do a video on it.
Yeah.
Now, you've got great editing going on in your shows. I love the tightness. You probably made a 10-minute video and you tightened it to 3 or 4 minutes or less. And are you the one saying, I want to do this? Or you shipping it to someone in the shop saying, listen, leave this, take that out, take that out? How you getting this down to final?
Yeah. So there's a fellow named Jax that works here. And he works here pretty much full time now, basically 4 days a week. 5 days, actually 5 days a week now. But anyways, we do videos and I'm essentially just like more or less the producer and the actor. He's the editor. I may have a couple little things that I throw in, but he does most of all the editing, 100%. And like my whole thing is like, we just need to hit the video. You know, videos shouldn't be more than, ideally you want to shoot for a 60-second video to like maybe a couple minutes, unless you get really into the weeds on something that you really want to explain and you really explain it very thoroughly. Then you could do like a 5-minute video, but I would do less of those and more 60-second videos.
And the thing I liked about yours, or let me say this to the audience, to your fellow shop owners out there, don't be bashful to make it a little choppy. And that edit, you know, when I watch something that's tightly edited, Niko, I know they did that out of respect for my time.
Yes.
And that
absolutely.
makes me want to watch it longer because they took out the ums and the ands and the, hey, did you see that, and the lookaways and all that stuff, so that actually you made fine wine out of a whole bunch of grapes.
Yeah, yeah, and exactly, and like it doesn't have to be super fine. It could be a choppy. But I think people like to have maybe a more choppier video, but definitely the audio quality has to be really good.
Yes,
The
yes.
microphone has to be really good. We use like the top of the line microphones whenever we do anything. So it's like a wireless lapel.
Yeah,
It's either a Sennheiser or we used another one on another shoot, but the Sennheiser one's really good.
cool.
Uh, they appreciate better audio, I think, because
Yeah.
if you watch a video that has bad audio, or like the worst thing is if you watch a video that you're looking for something and there's no audio, and the person's like taking a screwdriver and he's like just showing you like taking screws out of something, and then like the next clip is another thing and there's no audio. That's the worst. To me, that's the worst video around.
And wait a minute, that's that junk music that you hear on every video. Da, 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 da. I don't need a nursery rhyme video to a screwdriver movement. I just don't.
Exactly, like to just walk through it and just say, hey, I took all the screws out, and then that's it, and then move on to the next thing,
Oh
like
my,
yeah.
great points. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for, if you will, going down the video rabbit hole, because
Yeah, yeah.
it engaged me, no doubt, with the kind of views that you're getting. They are probably not, the first 10 seconds of a video. If it says, oh, 68 seconds, a minute and a half, I'll stick with it. Especially you're giving it to me. You're shooting at me hard, and I can sense that in the video. It's just nothing but the facts, Jack, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what people go to YouTube for. They don't go to YouTube to sit and watch like 8 minutes of a bunch of fluff. They want to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
everything that. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, by the way, we do audio here, and we do it really, really well. No nonsense, high quality content and audio. And so, I agree with you. Audio is really important. Hey, let's talk about
Yes.
one of the things you wanted to talk about was the kind of work that's coming in now versus
Oh yeah, yeah.
pre-COVID, post and pre-COVID.
Yeah, yeah. So pre-COVID, we're a shop. We have 17 bays. We did lots and lots of maintenance. We didn't do a lot of big jobs. And then COVID happened, and then in this area of the country, we got really slow for a pretty long period of time, probably 8 to 12 months. We were really slow, and if you kind of was watching like other parts of the country, everybody else was like really busy, but San Diego was very, very shut down. As California was really shut down, especially San Diego. It kept everybody kind of out of their cars and inside. Then post COVID happened, and there's this like blow up of work that's way bigger. People are definitely authorizing a lot more work. There's a ton more work to do on each car. I mean, I think if you kind of look at the big picture, it's like your ARO, whatever it was before. If it was 300, I think post COVID it should just be double. If it was 800, it should be 1600 now.
Yeah.
That's I think that like the big move back, and maybe even in some cases more than double, maybe two and a half times.
Why
So yeah.
was it so bad? I mean, the rest of the country, like you said, it only took a couple of months for it to come back with a vengeance. But why did it take California that long of a period of time?
We were just shut down. It's like we were shut down really heavy, and then it was like at first it wasn't mask wearing, and then there was mask wearing,
All right.
it's like you couldn't go to a restaurant, then the dining rooms were closed, so then they had to move outside, and then there was masks, and then there's just like more and more and more and more. Lots of other parts of the country had the same thing, but
Yeah.
some parts didn't have any, and then and everybody had like auto repair was like different in Florida than it was in California. It was different. It was just different everywhere.
Yeah. Now you're a Euro shop, right, Niko?
Yeah, yeah, we're like 80% Euro. Yeah,
80%. Were you doing more maintenance pre-COVID?
we were definitely doing more maintenance pre-COVID. And we were staying pretty busy. Now we're 2 weeks out, which is like unheard of. Usually we're like 2 to 3 days out. That's probably the biggest challenge that we're having, is just keeping our customers happy, the ones who've been coming here for years and years and years. And they expect, when they make a phone call to make an appointment, or an email to make an appointment, they expect to have an appointment in 72 hours or less usually. Now
Jeez.
we're like 2 weeks, and they're like, what? They're like, no, I'm going somewhere in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
having to like bind that together, and that's the tricky part.
What does your 20 group that you belong to, what's the future think for 2023? Is it going to stay right where it is?
Right now we think that it's gonna stay right where it is. We're just kind of monitoring new car sales, with now mixing in with the interest rates
Yeah,
rising a lot. It would
yeah,
the more the interest rates go up, the more people want to fix their old car also. So that's a whole other thing. So we're just kind of, it's like, hey, everybody in my 20 group, their AROs have doubled
yeah,
at least. So it's like, how do you just do that? That doesn't just happen out of the sky, So it's like that's definitely a US thing. I
yeah,
expect
yeah.
everyone's has just doubled. I mean, that's just what's happened.
And we
But
all have to pay.
2023, we're expecting the same. Yeah.
Yeah. And we all have to pay attention to the fact that, the R word, recession, uh, interest rates coming down. Rumor has it housing prices are starting to move. Actually, they claim sometime in 2023, you'll actually be able to buy a car at sticker, and then maybe further beyond that, less than sticker like it used to be. And for all of that reason, to motivate sales of vehicles, leases are getting a little outlandish, they say, and so leasing isn't happening as much. So we are in an extremely great place. We always have been as an industry, because 70% of out of warranty work comes into the aftermarket. But yet we have to pay attention to that. We cannot sit on the sidelines and think it's going to be all, flowers and roses forever.
No, definitely not. You just you have to just take it how it's coming, with a recession looming,
Yeah,
possibly.
yeah.
It's all auto repair is just going to get better and better, and then when the recession goes away, auto repair gets worse and worse. So it's like we're recession proof. We're definitely recession proof. As the economy gets really good, auto repair kind of like sinks down a little bit. So right now a recession's good for auto repair.
Yeah. Hey, a question. With all this work you have, 2 weeks out,
Yeah.
what have you done to manage your workflow? Anything special?
So we have just a couple things. Our foreman, or the lead tech, has now moved into more of a foreman position. We're still making we're still planning out exactly what he's going to do, but he's now working like half time in the front and half time in the back, just helping everybody get work in and out the door. So that's like a moving target, because I don't know exactly what I want him to do. He doesn't really want to work on cars anymore. He's in his 50s. He's like, hey, and he's a very high producing person, right? He works really hard. He's one of those guys that can easily get 60, 70 hours a week flat rate, like super easy. But he's getting tired. He doesn't want to do that anymore. Okay, so let's move him, do like half in the back, half in the front, and see what happens. And so that's what we're doing this year. And I'm just supervising that role. I kind of was the shop foreman. I'm trying to step out of being the shop foreman and give him that job, and give him more jobs of mine. That way I can just, you know, be out more.
You're the shop foreman. Unbelievable. I
Yeah.
cannot believe that. You're still
Yeah.
working deep in it, huh?
Yeah, but not I never really got into like turning wrenches, but like if there's like a car problem in the shop, then I'm right there watching it the entire time. It's like, did we duplicate the case? It's like you got to start over from the basics. Did we duplicate the customer's concern? Did we update the customer with what we've done already? But all those things that get lost sometimes, because everybody's going down a rabbit hole in the shop, the service writer, the mechanic, all included. And I'm talking about like problematic stuff, right? So it's like, okay, let's just bring it back. What have we done? Okay, let's figure this out and keep on moving.
Well, why you're so darn successful is probably because you keep the customer engaged. And that's
Yes.
what a great rule for, exceptional customer service. But thank you for this great discussion. Can we
Yeah,
take a
absolutely.
look? Can we take a look at the shop now?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Let's
let's do it.
let's 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 take a look at this shop tour. Thank you. I don't know who filmed this and edited it, but it's a nice and well done piece. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give us your narration here, man.
Yeah. So this building was built by my dad in '88. We moved 2 blocks up the street. And so this is our little car wash thing. So we do a waterless car wash on every car that comes in. Um, and then this is just kind of like the way to the front door there, like where the customer entrance right here. And then right here, here's our service advisors and our front counter area. I've got two full service writers and the half foreman over there. And then I'm over there in the back. There's our license plate frame deal. We put as many license plate frames on as we can. That's our awesome coffee machine. Coffee
Mm,
is very important, and that's an awesome machine. It grinds it and brews it right there. All the staff can drink it. All the customers can drink it. It's a good machine. And then this right here is our showroom. I'm a Porsche 911 guy. I love Porsches. And then we got one of these AED machines.
nice.
Do all
Let's go
that.
back to that showroom. When you say
Yeah.
you're a Porsche guy, are
Uh-huh.
you saying that those are your cars just on display in there?
The two that we're looking at is right in the front, the Cassis and the Guards Red. The
Uh-huh.
Cassis Red and the Guards Red are both mine. Those are 87s. The other one is actually, we're just waiting. It's in for service. It needs a timing chain. It needs a timing chain tensioner probably. I need to stop what we're doing. I need to stop a bunch of brake jobs to do a timing chain tensioner on a 911. A bunch of shop owners are going to laugh at me. And it's just like, man, at some point it's going to be filler work, that red 911 in the upper left there.
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
yeah. So
I
then,
love. If anyone has the luxury of having this much room, what an incredible idea to just display these classic cars. I love it.
yeah, exactly. And then that's my Grand National that I got, that black one, kind of like
Yeah.
totally out of, it's out of the Euro realm, but I love that. I just love the look of that car. So
Yeah. Nice
I
looking
was going to
car.
electrify it. I was going to put a Tesla motor in it, but we'll see what we do now. I don't know
No
exactly what I'm
kidding.
doing.
Oh, wow.
We hang a bunch of We also saw a bunch of surfboards in there. We're Surf Town. We're Surf Town, USA. So that's why you see a bunch of surfboards hanging up in that showroom. We do interstate batteries. That's our main battery that we install. That's the old battery rack, and then there's the new battery rack that you just looked at.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the customer waiting room.
Nice.
We have the table. We have that belly bar table, and then there's also a couch sitting there. So it can sit like it could technically sit like probably 8 or 9 people, but after about 3 or 4, it gets kind of crowded.
Do you
So
still have waiters?
yes, yeah, we still have waiters. We try to limit it to about 1 or 2 a day. We usually plan waiters at 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. and we do 2 a day, and we just try to get them in and out as much as possible.
God, is that your
Oil
dad in
fill.
that picture?
Yeah, that's my dad, and I put him up there. He just passed away suddenly, like about 6 months ago.
I'm sorry
So
to hear that.
oh, thank you. And he's like a major Mercedes guy. So I've got like 11 Mercedes I have to deal with. That was one of his newest
Oh, there's the couch. Very
collections. There's the
nice.
couch. Yep. And then this is kind of like walking back out of the showroom here, right into the parts room. So you see the parts man has 4 screens there, so we can check parts on multiple screens. Just a very small selection of parts. We don't stock a lot of parts. Lots of oil filters. Anything service related. So fluids, any fluid for any car, transfer case differentials included. And then everybody always talks about like, how do you charge out for washers and all that? So we put new drain plug seals on every single drain plug that comes in. They're all itemized with part numbers and everything. We know what to order. We know what's low. They go right in those bins. Those are the light bulbs. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So it's all just organized so the technicians can get that stuff really fast and quick and easy, as fast as you can for the tech.
Niko, does your parts person help in the workflow? Not only is he probably ordering the parts, being sure that they're there, but is he being sure that each technician is supported through some kind of organized shelving or bin boxes?
So the bin boxes. So we don't have a bin box for technicians. What we when parts come in, his job is to take those parts and deliver them straight out to the tech. From there, right after that, he takes the ticket, he inputs it in, he enters it in the system, and then goes and puts it right on the ticket. That way, and there's RO numbers and tech names. So if he didn't order it, or if he did order it 2 days ago and he doesn't know who it goes to, there's an invoice number that it goes onto the car, and then the technician's name right after that in the PO. So that way we know exactly where the part needs to go.
Yeah,
he knows exactly where the part needs to go. And then, battery jump boxes and battery chargers. That's an interesting battery charger. That's a 19-foot long cable battery charger, which makes it really easy instead of having to plug extension cords in all over the place. I have 2 of those. I actually have just got a third one. I'll probably get. The goal is to have every single technician with one of those programmer chargers with a 19-foot cord. We have tons of programmer chargers, but it always seems when you have to do the extension cord thing, it's always just a pain.
Or go looking for the charger.
Exactly. So I want to hang one on each technician's wall area. Each technician has a pad and also a PC. So they can take pictures, load them onto the RO, and then they can go put notes on from the PC. Those are all just like special tools like ISTA, like the ISTA cart, the PWIS cart, the Mercedes cart, Zentry, and we just push them over to the car and do quick tests and whatever we need.
So you said 17 bays, but it looks like you may have 30 cars in there.
Yeah, we're double stacking them right now. We've got there's 17 cars on lifts in there, and then we pull them in behind, like that silver BMW, if that one was in for like a check engine light, and then the other ones are in for services, like that i3 we did a brake flush on, we'll just do like on the floor, plug in, start diagnosing, and then use the racks only when we need to. I mean, we have 17 lifts and we're still running out of room. So yeah.
So that prompts me to think, can you add to the place, or would you have an annex somewhere, or shop number 2 is in the works?
It would have to be, we can't add to this place. We're totally blocked in by businesses completely surrounding all the way around us. There could be like an annex thing. Shop number 2, for me trying to go run back and forth between shops right in this area, it's not easy to travel in this area. I could do it. I could do it, but my life, I've been doing this for a while. My life goals are kind of different now. I don't want to keep on working on cars. Like, so I want to pass it off to a foreman and then have him do most of the stuff that I used to do. And then,
so you haven't figured out how to split yourself in half, have you?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Looks like is that a new Hunter lift?
Yeah, it's a couple years old now, but we did a flush mount, and that is when we do like a 911, a lowered car, it is so easy to put on there. It is so easy. That's key. Those are just some of my dad's old cars. We used to do lots of classic cars. We had to stop doing lots of classic cars because I don't have the guys old enough. The technicians that I have now, they're just not old enough to know enough about classic cars. So our classic car work has really come down. We've cut it in. We probably cut 90% of it out.
So that's a great point. Let me make that point. If I have a classic car and I need to get it repaired, and there is less and less people that can do it, that have the kind of legacy individual, right, that you're speaking to, raise your prices, guys. If you have these legacy guys and they're still wanting to work, raise your prices.
Absolutely. And so when I do vintage cars, I call in. I have two guys that have retired from here, who have left their toolboxes here, that I call in just like on a per job basis, and the labor rate doubles when that happens, because I'm going to pay these guys really really well
Sure.
to come in to work on old cars. They know everything about them. They're the only ones that do.
Now, what would you
Um,
use that lathe for?
we can. So I've kind of grew up. That lathe is like my brother. I grew up with that lathe.
I love it.
I've cut lug nuts down. I've made
Ah,
small specialty stuff.
yeah.
I dream of being a machinist. I'm just not one.
Uh,
But man, I would love to be a machinist. We've got
look,
valve grinders and a flywheel cutter back there, and two engines on stands right now. That's a Land Cruiser engine that, that was a whole thing. But an old flywheel cutter,
I
a
see
mill.
that. Look at the mill, the drill. You.
Yeah,
This looks just like a friend of mine has a shop just like this, a former technician, and he's built me a few things on his lathe that I've needed over time.
yeah,
Amazing stuff.
yeah.
Amazing.
No, it's cool. I can do simple lathe work, but nothing. I can't like build really cool stuff. But
Uh-huh.
it just takes time. And then there's one of my 911 engine that I had out of a 914.6 that I swapped
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
and
yeah,
blah blah
yeah,
blah. And then we were the first Bosch shop in the country. Bosch is going away. Bosch Car Service
yeah.
is going away this year. In about 10 days, it'll be gone. So that's kind of I don't know. We've been around for a while. See the little fork thing? We just added that. That's like a full blown commercial fork, knife, and spoon dispenser.
Ah,
So like there's not like a big messy tray of like a bunch of forks for like when the guys are at lunch and they're eating their lunch. So you just grab it out, just like if you're at a baseball game. And then we got a dishwasher that works really well, and a little napkin dispenser. So I just do like little stuff. The guys really appreciate stuff like that. It's just easy. It's clean. We have the 1234YF and the 134A machine.
yeah.
Um, and then there's just like we've got a bunch of bulk oil. We have bulk oil overhead, and then we also have bulk oil on those roll around drums also.
What
And
is the size of this shop? It looks like it's about 20,000 square feet.
no, so the whole shop, including the showroom, is about 16,000. The
16.
workshop area is about 10,000.
All right. Is it air conditioned, by the way?
No, no. So we're 2 blocks from the beach. It's
Okay.
not, there's no AC, there's no heater. It doesn't really get too cold here to run the heater long enough. It doesn't get too hot here. And that was lunch. We do lunch every Friday with the guys. So I have every Friday, and we talk about whatever we want. We just kind of, shoot the breeze, talk about what everybody's doing for the weekend and what their favorite thing is.
So the culture in the shop is over the top because you're so involved. Is your sister still involved with you?
No, she's like a full time mom now.
Okay.
She hasn't been working for like 5 or 6 years.
I think the last time we talked, I think you were talking about Julia, I think, working with you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yep. That's my sister. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure your dad continues to look at you from on high and be very proud of the work that you're doing and running this great company that he started.
Yeah. No, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Great tour.
we're working away. Thank you.
I just wish you continued success, Niko. Charlie's foreign car, Encinitas, no,
Encinitas,
Encinitas.
California.
Encinitas. Why am I have trouble with that? Encinitas, 44 year young business, credible business. Thank you for, the beginning part of the show as we were talking about so many great things about being concerned about what's going on in 2023. Appreciate your insights on that. And we need to get you back to talk about connected cars someday, because that episode that we did a while back was about keeping up with connected cars. And in the 4 years that we've done that, the world's changed again, Niko.
It absolutely has, and we can definitely arrange that. We can
Yeah.
definitely arrange that.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that. Maybe get Donnie on and Donnie Cipher and talk about where we're going to be someday, especially the way the laws in California are changing, where now they're going to need a palm print in order to do smog testing. And I think, as the rest of the world knows, whatever goes on in California seems to creep everywhere else.
Yes, yes, yes. It's like all my smog techs, they all got their palm read at a palm reading facility, and now they're gonna have to go scan their palm in before they can do a smog. That way, they know the human is present at the laptop that the car is being smogged at. They're very concerned with that.
Oh,
So yeah,
all right.
crazy
Yeah,
world.
we got to talk about that. That's what we do here. Always take the cutting edge trends. Niko, thank you so much. Have a great holiday, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
Yes, you too. Thank you, Carm.